recently had a discussion with somebody on one of my posts, and their point was very much that we have to expect people to live up to certain standards. We have to do our own inner work, but then we have to create organizations that demand other people within society agree with that work or also participate in that work. So coalitions against racism, coalitions against poverty, coalitions against government corruption, things like that. And while that's important and that's true, those coalitions, if filled with people who are egotistical, aren't going to do anything good, or at least not anything long lasting. And so the change has to be individual. It has to start with us, right? And that's the point, is that as people start to experience life, like you're saying, as they start to let go of the things that they don't really need, as they start to let go of the illusions that they used to think prop them up, those people make different decisions. They operate their businesses differently. They talk to one another differently. And as time progresses, they will raise their children differently, and their children will interact with their friends differently. And eventually society will start to emulate the mentality of that ripple as it spreads. And so just like with the legalization of cannabis, now in 10 years time, you're going to see people growing up outside of that prohibition who are now in politics, for example, and informing the political discussion without the paranoia that came from everything before, when the prohibition was happening on cannabis. That's going to change our attitude towards cannabis as a substance and as something that's useful to society.